Adelaide. Yes, are you all well this evening? Yeah, be enthusiastic because it's a great night, wonderful weather, it's been a great day. If you've been out about now Main Street, you would have seen lots of things happening. There was stuff down at Lockscare with stalls and food. The main street was humming, and even at the historical village, it was a great day out as well. And tonight you've come here to hear about Jesus. And so I'm Pastor Jeff, for those of you who don't know, I'm the pastor here. And tonight we're going to learn about Jesus and why he's all about life. The most important message you could possibly hear in your whole entire life. So thank you for coming, and we'll see how we go. Are you ready for an exciting journey? Are you excited for an awesome journey? Come on, let's be excited. Yeah? All right. Awesome. Sorry, that was me.
is working. So I'm doing a children's talk. So if any of the kids do want to come forward, during my children's talk, I will be having some slides up here to show you what I'm doing, because it's hard for you to see what I'm going to be doing with the kids today. So hopefully the team at the back put that up at the right time for us to join in. So Abigail, come on now. Someone in front of me so I can sit on the floor. I'm going to be sitting down here. Thanks, girls. Come on, join me. I'm down on the floor. It'd be weird. Okay. Well, I have an aeroplane here. But my aeroplane is pretty dodgy. It doesn't fly very well. I'm going to show you. Ready? It's pretty lame. It's probably the best my planes ever get when I make my kids' planes. But my plane is much more exciting than fly. You can tell us the Easter story. I know you girls go to the Christian school here, so you know a bit about the Easter story already. So I'm going to cut my plane in half, and I'm going to show you the Easter story. And using all these pieces here, it's going to tell me the Easter story. So. That's one of the criminals' crosses that was beside Jesus' cross. So there was two people beside Jesus on each side of him, one on the left, one on the right, the Bible says. And then, of course, we have Jesus' cross. It's all one piece. It's pure, sinless. And then we have they nailed a sign above him that said King of the Jews. And that was about all the people had signs above to say what they were there for, whether they were robbers or what they had done wrong. So you had the Jews here. Then they had two dice, and they actually played a game. And actually cast lots, the Bible says, to kind of earn or win Jesus' clothes. So these two pieces represent the two dice that they used to play the game for his clothes. And then lucky last, we have a spear. The Bible says that they put a spear in Jesus' side to see if he was dead or alive. And so when blood and water came out separately, they knew he was dead. Because, of course, our body, when our heart pumps, the blood and water mixes together to pump around our body. But when they did that, it came out separately as blood and then water, and he was dead, so it was time to take him down to the cross and put him in the tomb. And so this hopefully will remind us of what happened at Easter time. And I've got some gift bags for you guys. I'm going to hand to you very soon. Okay, let's listen to the next song. Go back to your seats down there, girls.
Just to save us, never shaking in the dark. All creation felt the Father's broken heart. Tears were filling heaven's eyes. The day the true love died, the day the true love died. Blood and water hit the ground. Walls we couldn't move came crashing down. We were free and made alive. The day that true love died, the day that true love died. just so you can find it. The Father gave His only Son just to save us. Creation fell and Father's broken heart. Tears were filling heaven's eyes. Take the truth of time, take the truth of time. Running wild in the ground. Walls we couldn't look, crashing down. We were free and made alive. Take the truth of time, take the truth of now Jesus is alive. 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 Oh, He is alive. He rose again. We couldn't locate, crash us down. We were free and made alive. Tell the truth of time. Tell the truth of Come close, listen to the story.
What we've just witnessed was a scene and an act that brought death. But you see, the death of Jesus is not the end of the story. Because on the Sunday, 3 days later after his crucifixion, he rose again. See, and because of his rising, he gave us life. And he is all about life. And life is just not life that's any old life, but it's life that gives us hope. A life that gives us meaning. A life that ultimately gives us peace with God. And this hope is not the hope that the world normally thinks of, where hope's a feeling, hope's something that lasts for an instant or a wish. No, the hope that he gives is far much deeper. It's hope that's based in realness. It's a hope that's based on objectivity. It's objective. It's not based on some feeling or some wishful thinking. See, the reality is that Jesus rose again. In fact, if you look through the Bible, through the New Testament, it says that 500 witnesses saw him resurrected. That is evidence that proves that he resurrected. And you may say, oh, but that's just the Bible. You can't use the Bible to prove the Bible. That's not evidence. But it is evidence. The Bible is showing eyewitness accounts. So just because you don't like the evidence, or that evidence makes you feel uncomfortable, it doesn't still not say it's not evidence. But even outside of the Bible, you can look at records that prove the Bible's reliability, especially the New Testament. People who are historians, who study that time, back those days, who are experts in that, have said, through using historical, scientific methods, the proof is that there was a man named Jesus, as the Bible records, that lived in Judea, as the Bible records, that was crucified under Pontius Pilate, as the Bible records, and rose again, as the Bible records. That is historic fact that cannot be refuted. The only people who deny that are those who are foolish enough to not believe in the facts. So just because you may not believe in Jesus does not negate that he existed. Your disbelief doesn't stop him from existing. But the good news is this, that because Jesus was resurrected, he offers us new life. A life that is different from the life we live now if you don't know him. A life that gives you hope. A life that has meaning. A life that gives us peace with God. You see, the fact is, without Christ, we are children of wrath. What does that mean? It means we have decided to reject God and place ourselves on the throne of our life, and we set ourselves up as God. And in that, we try to judge people by standards that are so high that we can't even keep ourselves. That is the height of hypocrisy. And setting ourselves up as our own little God, we seek to find fulfillment. We seek to satisfy those needs and longings that we have. So it's all about me. You may have heard as a kid that the universe doesn't revolve around you. Newsflash, it doesn't. See, in the pursuit of self, looking to fulfill all those longings that you have, you will never be able to find them. Because as soon as you find something that satisfies you, it's fleeting and momentary. And sooner rather than later, you're looking for the next thing to fulfill you. You're looking for the next new shiny toy with the Go Faster stripes. The new model iPhone, because last year's model just doesn't cut it anymore. And the only difference is maybe an upgraded lens on one of the cameras. You see, trying to find yourself by pursuing yourself, pursuing pleasures, pursuing what makes you feel good, will ultimately leave you empty. I know this for a fact. I lived my life like that. It was all about me, and I went and sought what I wanted. I was the master of my own destiny, and I would do whatever I had to do to fulfill the longings and the needs that I felt like I needed to have met. I climbed over people. I burnt bridges. I used friends. What did it get me? It left me empty. I'd look in the mirror, and the reflection was not someone I liked. I hated myself. I had thoughts of taking my own life. That's a scary place to be when you think I'd be better off. This world would be better off if I never existed. If I just kill myself now, it will be over. I don't know whether any of you here have ever had those thoughts. But let me tell you, that is not the answer. But there is a hope. The hope is so blatantly obvious in front of us that we often miss it. The hope is in Christ. Because if you want to find who you are, if you want to find what your identity is, it's not those things. Now, the things you liked as a child, you no longer like as a teenager. And the things you liked as a teenager are no longer the things you like as an adult. Think about the things that you like now. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, were the things that you were into? No. The things that you like now won't be the same things that concern you in the next 20 years of your life. Our needs and our desires change. To find yourself and to find your identity in these things is like a dog chasing its tail. It's pointless. It's fruitless. It's like the donkey trying to grab the carrot dangled in front of it. You can see it, you can smell it, but you can never get it. You cannot be satisfied if you seek these things. So what hope is there then? If everything's pointless, what's the point? The point is this, that in Jesus you can have hope. In Jesus you can find satisfaction. In Jesus you will have an identity that is found on solid ground. No longer will you be searching endlessly for meaning. No longer will you be searching for things to fulfill the emptiness within your soul. Because drugs will not fill that hole. Alcohol will not fill that hole. Wrong relationships will not fill that hole. The only thing that can fill that hole is having a relationship with Jesus Christ. In Him, you'll be satisfied. Back in the 60s, there was a band named the Rolling Stones. And and they wrote a song, and the tagline was, "I can't get no satisfaction." And all the years that Mick Jagger and the band have been around, yes, they have wealth and success, but they still ain't got no satisfaction. Howard Hughes, the first billionaire recorded in America, he had everything, and yet he died alone in a steel roll room, afraid of germs. The case is crystal clear. Looking for things to fulfill your life will leave you empty and devoid of life. If you want to know who you are, then you need to know Jesus. See, the truth is, we are all going to die. A fact that no one here can dispute. If you think you're going to live forever, I've got some sad news for you. As we get older, our bodies break down. They're not as good as they used to be. We might need hearing aids. We might need glasses to see. We might need help to get around life. But we're all going to die. And on that day, when you die, you will stand before God. And what are you going to say to God when he says to you, "I don't know you, be gone from me"? What are you going to say? "But I'm a nice person. But didn't I do all these wonderful acts of benevolence, even though there was a slight payoff for me at the end? Didn't I live a moral life? After all, I didn't kill anyone. I wasn't like Hitler." That's not the entrance requirement. That's not the ticket to heaven. It never was perfection. It never was do enough good stuff to get in. You cannot earn or buy your way into heaven. Jesus himself said these words, "I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. No one comes to the Father but through me." So how do you get in? By knowing Jesus. Here's the entry ticket. To make it really plain and simple. You have a house. And you knew this person at school when you were young, and they were horrible to you. Didn't want to know you, denied that you're around, sweared and cussed at you. And then one day, knock at the door, you open the door to your house. "Oh, hi, can I come in?" "No, I don't." "Well, would I let you in? You didn't want to know me? I don't know you." "Oh, but I'm a nice person. I gave lots of money to charity. I haven't killed anyone." Would you let that person into your house? No, you don't know them. The same with God. If you deny God your entire life, and if you blaspheme and cuss him and don't want to know him, then why would he let you into his house? The fact is, God does love everyone in this room. And he sees you all have value and worth, but he gives us free will. We have a choice to make. Do we accept his son Christ and what he's done, and accept his offer, his free offer of life? Or do we say, "No, thank you. I'll set myself up as God, and I'll run my life. I'll do it my way, thank you." And whatever choice you make, well, that's up to you. Are you prepared for the consequences of that choice? Because if you deny God, then on that day, when you stand before him, he will deny you. That's the whole hard truth. So if you want to be sure that on that day, when you stand before God, that he says, "Welcome to my kingdom," there's only one thing you must do. That is to ask him into your life. Humble yourself before him and ask him to forgive you for all the things you've done wrong, for all the times you wanted to be God instead of him. And let him into your life to be your God, to be the one who sits in the command chair of your life, the one who directs you rather than you directing yourself. Seems like an offer too good to be true. That's an offer that he extends to every single one of us. The choice for you here tonight then, if you don't know Jesus, is what are you going to do with the gift that he's extending to you here tonight? You might say, "Oh, that's okay, great idea, but I've got years left yet to live, maybe later on." It's a foolish thing to say because you don't know when you're going to die. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be in 10, 20 years. You don't don't know when your time is up. But when that time comes, you can't then stand before God, oh, I accept you now. You have all the time that you've got left. From this day on to the day you meet God, now is the time to make sure you've got your life right with God. Now is the time, because you don't know when you're going to die. And that gift is extended, and that hand that was held back by nails is extended to you. Say, would you accept my free gift of life that I'm offering you? A life that gives you a hope, a life that gives you a purpose, a life that will fulfill all those longings you have. Are you willing? My invitation to you tonight then is this. If you have not got your life right with God, if you're not sure that if you died right this minute, God will let you into his kingdom, and I ask you to come down to the front and ask him into your life. Maybe you've never done this before and this seems weird. That's okay. And it may be scary to come down the front of a church where people may see you. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Because right now, this is the biggest change you can make in your life. It's the biggest question that faces every human being. You stand before him, will he let you in? Maybe you're a Christian here already, but you're not too sure because maybe you've wandered off a little bit on that path. But my invitation to you is to come down the front also and rededicate your life to God that holds your destiny in his blood-stained hand. Time is now, my friends. Don't delay. If you need to put your life right with God, now is the time. Now is the time. I invite you to come down to the front. Don't care about what other people say. Don't look around who's looking. Come to the front. I'd love to pray with you. I'd love to introduce you to the one who is the author of life, the one who can give you a sure hope. Because he is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, who rose on the third day to give you life. Thank you.
Thank you for the cross, Lord. Thank you for the price you paid, bearing all my sin and shame. In love you gave amazing grace. Thank you for this love, Lord. Thank you for the nail-pierced hands. Wash me in your cleansing flow. Now all I know, your forgiveness and embrace. Worthy is the Lamb, seated on the throne.
have something to eat and to have a chat with us. We'd love to talk with you and get to know you better. And if what I have said has really pricked you somewhere deep inside your soul, I'd still love to have a chat with you. But until then, go in the peace of Christ. May He look after you, be good to you as you trust in